Well, one of the main messages was how the covered bond product has become a global product. Evident through the number of countries that have issued, which are non-European, which is the traditional covered bond markets. But with the globalization of the product, I think what is now most important is how do we then become more harmonized in the structure of the covered bond, in the definition of the covered bond, how the principles of a covered bond should be and can be developed. And this is something that at the Global Issues Working Group, we are focused on in terms of definitions, principles-based convergence, issues like that.
There have been several legislative initiatives over the last few years regarding covered bond legislation and new jurisdiction. We've seen in Europe, Poland and Turkey that they have amended their existing legislation. Romania has approved the new legislation. But also outside Europe, we have seen a successful initiative in Singapore, for example, and currently in Brazil, the legislator is trying to finalize the secondary legislation for covered bonds.
Well, our main message is that the covered bond has been a success around the globe, and that we are all committed to come up with guidelines, fundamental guidelines to protect the covered bond on the one hand, and to give opportunities to other countries to join the covered bond family on the other hand, because we need to have some flexibility in order to adapt the product to the specificities of each national legislation. The challenges are always the same. You have to look at the specificities. For instance, what are the consumer protections in the country? What are the tax laws? Do you have a universal banking model? Do you have a specialized banking model? And you have to identify all these challenges. And once you have identified them, you can find the right answers. And this has been achieved also together with rating agencies and the ECBC and other members of the community.
For me, it was very important to tell that there are new developments in the market. They are highly appreciated. I think we see a further globalization of the market, more issuance, more investors also globally, and we need to make sure that basically these new joiners are using the language of the rest of the market, so to speak, that we have a harmonization, a simplification of the product to that extent that you still recognize it as the national product. However, you need to make sure that it is as much as possible close to what is known.